Hey guys, so I wanted to go through and do the rest of the images that came up in the milestone last week because I think there's some really good graphic design principles that I could go over while I'm doing these. So I'm going to go over 1 through 7 just in order and show you guys how I would have done these myself, just so that you guys have an understanding of what some options you have are. So for this first one, oops, looks like we've got that right off center there. So I'm going to go, because, and I'm going to say this a lot, but because this logo has a lot of parallel things to it, I'm going to actually just do half of the logo and then I'm going to mirror it over to the other side. So this one in particular, I'm going to just create a line right there. And then we'll get one more there. I might go back and just grab that control point and just pull it back a little bit later. But that should work for this one. So I'm just trying to create enough lines here that I can come back with another tool with the Pathfinder and just do all these as separate little individual sections. So I'm just separating them out. Let me see here, where is that? That just kind of comes from the middle here. So if you want to restart one that's in the middle, you have to kind of deselect all the lines you've got there and then come back. And I'm not too worried about having a jumbly mess over here. That's fine, I can work with that. And then again, we'll do this last set. I'm sorry, there's an airplane coming by. Let me wait till it's about gone. Okay, it's mostly gone now. All right, so last point here. This one's going to be a little tricky. I'll have to come in and again, I'll grab this point right here and I'm going to pull this in. I'll hit plus and I'll give myself another control point right here, and that'll get me most of the way to having that perfect. Okay, it's gone. So I've got these all lined out now. So I'm going to take this, I'll use the Pathfinder tool, we'll create all those different subdivided areas there. Oops, not that one. What did I just do? Okay, ungroup, and then we'll just get rid of these sections right here. It looks like we have a weird something here. This is when that Control Y comes in handy, is so you can kind of figure out what's going on with something. One of these has, oops. One of these has a weird angle to it. Oh, I see what's going on. So there's two right here. We'll figure that out in a second then. What I'll do is I'll create another layer here and I'll just assign the ones that are quote unquote good to it. So this one's good. This one is not part of that, so it's good. This one is definitely not part of it, so it's good. This one. And I'm just trying to isolate it so I can figure out, like I said, what, let's hide those. So it looks like it's, oh, it's an entirely separate little nub. So if I just select over this area, I'll get all of these and then I'll deselect that and I can delete that. And that should give us the full set right there. Okay. So now that I've got this, I'm going to do Control C, Control Shift V, so I'll place that back in place. And then transform, and we will reflect 180, and then we'll drag this back over and let it snap right there, and then I'll just move all these back and get rid of my temporary layer there. Now that within each of these I have to have a gradient that matches what's going on there. So I'm gonna just do this in a separate one. So I'll switch over to gradient here. Actually, let's set all of these to gradient so we don't have to do it multiple times. And then what I'll do is I'll just drag top to bottom. So we know white's gonna be this color right here, and then the black is gonna be this color right here. And then, oh, we need to get rid of all these strokes too. Okay, so then next one, again, we'll set the height. Oops. We'll set the height of it. And again, we'll just track top and zoom in here. When you have a lot of pixelation like that, you can end up with some weird colors that you might be seeing. So it's sometimes best to just zoom in and try and get a good representation of what it is. I don't think there's too much movement on this one, but I'm still going to sample it just in case. Oops, see, I got too close to the edge there. This bottom one, and some of these might actually be slightly twisted. Again, I'm not going for perfect in this. We're going for kind of good enough. So, I keep missing it and adding new points in here. Okay. So we're starting to get there. I think you guys can figure out how this goes from here. And we don't really need to watch me do the whole thing, but I'll do this half of it, and I think you can figure out how I do the second half. Oops. What am I doing? Okay. So if we get rid of these, let's just see how well that lines up. That's pretty good. But yeah, I think you guys can see how that one's going. So I won't bother doing the rest just for the sake of simplicity. It's the same process, just with the other half. Let me pull in the second logo here. So there's this Ruby one. Actually, just let me, as a comment too, I mean, I'm not going to do the text on this one. The text isn't super special. But a lot of you guys were having trouble with some of the Ruby itself and the shape here. So what I'll do is I'll switch to the polygon tool. I'll make sure I'm drawing in, let me switch these around. And I'll draw a polygon tool. I saw a couple people were, let me create a new, oops, nope, don't do that. A couple people were trying to draw the polygon by hand, and that's again one of those cases where I tell you guys, hey, let the computer do the hard work. It knows how to draw a polygon, or a hexagon in this case. So I'll just try and center that as best I can, and then hold down Shift and Alt, and we'll scale it evenly until that pretty much covers that edge. Get rid of that stroke again, and then we'll switch it around just so we can see what we're working with. The Ruby, again, I'm going to do that same process. If this isn't something I can reflect, then I will save myself the trouble. And then our first good division that we can work with here, since a lot of things meet on that line, I'll just do that. And then we have another one that comes across. So I'll do a line that comes across here. And we'll just do that to grab that one. We have another line that comes, deselect it, start another line. Actually, let's figure out where the top of this is too with another rectangle. And then, again, I'm gonna just go there to there, and we'll recreate that shape. And then one more, letting it just snap to those interaction points right there. And then I think I do need to draw this in because otherwise it'll just, no, it'll show up. All right, we're good. So I've got all these. Again, I'll run it through the Pathfinder. We will ungroup it. I will delete all of those right there, and then now we should be left with the appropriate faces that we need. These are pretty simple. I'll just, I'm going to hide all of them, so now you don't see anything here, but I'll switch it to use the face as the primary, and then we'll just go through and sample all of these sections, just one at a time. So, did I not get that one? Didn't get it. Oh, this is some weird extra line. There we go. And then I'll hit Control Y, just make sure nothing weird is going on here. So I'll just drag these out. Apparently there was that one extra line there. Looks like everything's good, so I'll just Control Z back to this point. And then we'll do a move copy, transform, reflect. And I don't think that there was any color differences. So if I was feeling super OCD, I'd actually merge these two shapes into each other, just so that there's nothing else going on there. And then again, the star down here, let the computer do the work. So we'll get the star tool. We'll go right about there, and then hold down hold down Control, and I think that's pretty close. Right about there. And then obviously we'll have to sample the color. Oh, except we can't sample the color because I can't see the thing under it. Switch that, and now sample the color. Okay. Oops. All right. Again, I'll leave the rest of the text up to you guys. Hide that. And then we'll need to make this a gradient. And to do that, again, we'll leave that as is. I'll move this over here as a move copy. We'll apply gradient, set top to bottom, light gray up here. And it looks like they did an adjustment where they kind of biased it towards the top like that. Once that's done, I'll just sample this over here and reassign top to bottom. And then just make sure that's the back. And then again, you can figure out the text yourself. Let's jump into the next one. This one's pretty easy, depending on how you want to do it. I'd probably start by doing a rectangle over this. And then we can pull in this edge, get that corner. Let's switch the line here, object, path. Well, we could do that. I'll show that in a different one. Instead, I can just copy, paste in place, and then scale the second one down. Oops. How did that happen? Okay. Oh my god. Let go, mouse. Okay. And then we'll just have to adjust the interior corner here. It looks like it's a little bit off. I don't know if... Oh, I didn't create the new layer. Oop. Alright. Move these up here. Lock. Am I drawing it narrower? Yes, I am. Okay. So we will just scale this out slightly wider. It looks like I'm going to have to go out and then come back in. And then, yeah, we'll redo this one as well. Actually, we'll just redraw it. Control C, Control Shift V, Alt and Shift, bring it in. Oh my god. Why is it doing that? That's weird. It's like delayed in my mouse release. Okay. Okay. So we've got that. Now we've got two separate sections here. The way that there's a couple ways you can handle this. I'm assuming that's a right angle. So I can make a square, rotate it 90 degrees. And then I'll just kind of get this in a point where it looks like it's right about there. We'll crank up the thickness on this. And we'll just bring it out a little bit. Looks like it needs to be another point thicker. And then the other thing we need to do is flatten out these. Oh, just this one though. So make sure you use the direct selection tool to grab just that just this one right here, and then bring it in so that the others don't change. And then we've got, just gonna put a rectangle over here. Let me switch this and just make sure I've got this rectangle in the right spot, and I don't. And then I'm gonna copy and paste this because I think they use the same angle here, but we'll find out. We'll snap that to a 45, and it looks like they used a slightly different angle. So I'll just make this a little bit wider as necessary. Right there. And then we'll bring that out. We're not going to use that necessarily because we're going to use this as the cutting tool. What do we have it at? 10 point. And then once we're happy with the size of this one, we'll actually use this path, outline stroke. And so now we have all these different lines going on here. Let's go ahead and pull this so it flattens over that. And drag this out a little bit past. And then we'll just run this again through the Pathfinder, and then we'll get rid of what we don't need. So I'll ungroup. I know we don't need that. We don't need that. Don't need anything out here. We don't need this section or that fill. We won't need that. We won't need anything right here. And then the one thing I didn't take account of is where this ends. So it looks like I'm going to need another rectangle right here. Just enough to give me a cut across this. And then we'll just subtract that. And then we'll get back to cutting. So we'll get rid of this. And then anything else that's left after this process, we'll just merge together. So now that we're here, we've got this one. We'll merge this into one shape. Oh, we missed this corner too. Merge that in. Oops, no, stay there. We will switch the fill in that, and then we'll sample. Oops. I need to turn on the light. I cannot see my keyboard. All right. And then we'll do the other side here too. So these should all be good. We'll merge these together. Swap the fill and the stroke, and then place it. And then this little area right here, I'm just going to do 4 squares. I'll make sure they're lined up. And then we'll just copy them like that. And hope that I got this measurement right. We can sample this if we're feeling kind of OCD. Wow, I got that really close. Okay. It must have snapped to something I wasn't looking at. Okay. So that's that logo. Again, the rest of it's all up to however you want to handle the text. This one, saw a couple people doing too, and again, we'll go with the polygon tool. We'll match the size so that I've got this outer one covered. Oh my god. Why are we doing this, mouse? Okay. Because I have like 8 windows open right now. Okay, let's get rid of the fill. So we've got this border here. I'll do Control Shift or Control C, Control Shift V to paste it in place. We'll bring our next one in here. And it looks like, oh, that's a tiny bit large right there. Control C, Control Shift V, and move the next level in. So this way we've got all these spaces lined up. And then from here, I'm just gonna draw lines across here using the, what's there to set some points. Basically, I'm just gonna let it snap as necessary. And this will give us all the pieces that we need here. Did I close this one? There we go. Okay. I lost track of where I was on it. Okay. So now that I didn't create another layer again. I can make it sloppy. Okay. Select all that, move these up, lock that layer, and then we'll just come in here and just verify that we've got it mostly sectioned off as we need it. Run the Pathfinder tool, ungroup. Now we shouldn't have too much over. We shouldn't have anything overlapping, but I'm going to pull this apart just to double check. Make sure I don't have any weird straggler lines in there, and I don't, so I'm good. This section, I'm going to say we actually just delete these two we don't need. And then these two sections, we'll sample that color. These two will sample that. And we're left with that. Okay, yeah, that was pretty simple. This next one, actually, I was really enjoying watching the couple of you guys who tried this. There's a couple different ways you could do it. I would probably go with... Oh, what am I on? Oh, let's create our new layer. So let's start with a circle, and we'll try and actually get this matched up as best we can with that. And then Control C, Control Shift V, and we'll just keep moving it each step outwards. And hopefully these would be, oh, there it goes again. Hopefully they would be like a set fixed distance. I don't know if they are or not, and I tried on someone's computer to do that. And it didn't go great because I think the number was off just a tiny bit. So this is probably the slightly better way to do it. But just making sure that all of these lines match up. There we go. So there we've got all our lines right there. Oops. Lock that layer. Now we'll do, let's see, hide the fill. We'll do a rectangle that'll go from here across, and it's not going to snap on this. Why won't you? Oh, I know why you won't snap. Move that to the front, and hopefully that'll let it snap. So we'll delete our rectangle. Nope, I must have fat fingered something and turned guides off, or smart guides. Okay, there we go. We're back. So find the anchor. That's going to be the inside corner that we want to use right there. So we'll use this rectangle as a cutting surface. And then again, we'll come back to the Pathfinder and we'll just get rid of, oh, ungroup. And that. Oh, and then we'll do another one here that just erases all of these. So I should have done that one larger, I guess. Ungroup. And delete that, just double check. So there's our arcs right there. And then if we come back with a rectangle tool, we'll snap that there. And then let's see how consistent these are. Yeah, it looks like I overdrew slightly on some of them. Or I underdrew that second one just exactly. Yeah, it's going to alternate. If I was doing this as a brand new one, I probably would have just set as fixed offset distance and repeated that. It would have given me a slightly cleaner logo versus the way I did this one, but we're trying to go for speed, not accuracy necessarily on this one, because we still have to do the letters on this. This is one of the ones that basically did it because of the letters. So there we go. So then we'll go back through and we'll pair all these up. So we'll grab across that way. That's the easiest way to do it. And then we need to have this go off in that direction. So we'll do the direct selection tool, grab across this side of it, and we'll just pull this out. Hold down shift so that it stays parallel. And then let's just go ahead and assign colors to each of these. We'll do it up here. Okay, so the text on this is one of the ones that was kind of unique in that you actually do have to do something with the text. So we'll put vintage in here as a text, bump this font way up, and then let's try and find something that matches this. So we're looking for sans serif, probably medium thickness. And let's bump the font. Oh, come on now. Let's go with, this is the one I did on that other one that I had to load in. Kind of hard to see. Let me actually just make it white. Just so I can see kind of what features of the letters I'm looking to match here. The G actually looks like, get out of here. The G is one that actually I'm going to kind of look a lot at because that's one of the more defining ones. Let's go super thick on this. And we can even see the G in here when we skim. Let's check the Adobe Warehouse, see if we can find anything in here. Come on. Did I turn it off again? Oh, here we go. And specifically I'm looking for, like, it's going to be a C shape with a box right there, so I'm not looking for the little tail that comes inside. So that'll help us spot something that a little bit quicker here. Not quite. Worst case scenario, we could also just cut that off too. That's pretty close. We'll go with this just so that we don't spend 35 minutes watching me try and select a font. Okay. Was in a set. Alright, font downloaded. And set. Two N's. No, one N. And set bold. Okay. So we'll get this down here. That is a pretty close match for what I was looking for anyway. So I'm just going to scale this up a little bit so it's about the right height. And then we'll create outlines on group. And then we'll move all these letters into their correct spaces. And we might have to get a little tricky with some of the with how some of these are placed, just to get enough overlap. It looks like the eye's extra wide here. So I'm just going to bump it out so that it gets its correct fill space here. And then we'll go ahead and assign our colors. Let's see, who's on top? Red's on top. So that's kind of, we'll go with right there. I don't know how it sorts these. But we'll get all these colors figured out. It looks like it's in the order we want it in. Let's just double check real quick. Yeah, so there's a couple differences in the font, but nothing crazy. It's fine for this project. Oh, okay, this one was fun. The cat. So this is one of the ones where, depending on how you draw this, you're really going to want to watch your line weights here. Especially if you are, well, so like for this tail, let me do the tail first, because this is going to be one of the ones that I'd probably focus on the most for that. So getting a good angle on this tail will let me use another option here that I haven't used too much, which is, oh, sorry, we'll switch to, get rid of, oops, hit too many keys. All right. Oh, what am I hitting? Go away. Okay. So we've got the stroke here. We will bump this up a whole bunch of points. We'll probably have to do something just to kind of get it aligned a little bit better. So there I go again. Okay, apply that. And then I'm just going to adjust this tail so it fills up that space a little bit better. We'll pull this out and pull this side in. But we're just trying to get this aligned up as best we can with what's going on here. And then let's set the color of it to black. So I can show you guys what I'm going to do for this part. So I'm going to take the stroke tool. Remember I showed you guys you could do that with it. And so that'll get us a nice round bit at that corner there. We'll do one more point just so that it kind of fills, let's do two. Just so it fills in that area a little bit better. And then we'll object, path, outline stroke. And that'll get us this shape. I don't know why it didn't round this side, but hey, I'm here for it because that kind of worked good for us. And then I'm going to bring this down. I'm just trying to kind of match that. I don't know right now how I'm going to handle this part of it joining, but for now, I've got those two sections joined, so I'll just work with that. And then we'll object, we'll put another stroke on this. So I'll hit D, and we will we'll set the stroke to be towards the outside. So it's going to be this option right here. And then as we bump this stroke up, you can see that it fills out that way. So by default, you're here. It's going to do it based on the edge of this line. You can do inside or outside. I chose to do outside. So we've got that there. And then again, all path, outline stroke, and now our tail's done. The body's a little bit of a similar process. I'll probably just come up here and we'll do part of this like that. And then I'm just going to bury the rest underneath here so I don't have to worry about it. Because we're going to end up covering it with that little disc shape anyway, so it doesn't really matter where it is. I'm just trying to get the outline that we can use here. So again, I don't know what I used for that setting. So again, we'll do the outside. Was it 20 point? 8? Sure. Oh, no, and then I hit the button again. 8. Okay. Object, path, outline stroke. So now we've got those two sections done. The head looks to be pretty parallel. Unfortunately, because of this angle, it would be pretty difficult to try and map this out. So instead, I'm just going to do the whole thing, but I'm going to use that same process that I just did with the other areas. So I'll do, oops, that right there. We'll do one across the middle here. I'm going to get it kind of far out. This is a little bit of a tricky one. And then a point there. And that gets us like a mostly flat with a little bit of a dip at the end. Just helps knowing that tool a little bit. These ears. And then we'll get kind of the cheek, I guess. Is this a cat cheek? And then we'll bring it in. Now this is a problem because I can't see. So I'm actually going to move these two to another layer. Oh, is that down there? It is on the wrong layer. Okay. So move these here. No. And then we'll just hide them for now so we can work with the rest. Lock that layer. Nope, of course I was drawing on it. Okay. There's my line. There it is. Get it up here. Stop. Okay. So back to this corner right here. We'll just do kind of probably 2 points across the bottom. Get that, switch to that. And then come up the sides and close it off. And then again, we'll kill our fill. Well, actually we'll keep the fill. And then I think we did 9 point, 8 point. Good enough. Looks like it covers everything pretty well. Object, path, outline stroke. We'll move this back up to that layer so it's here but it's still hidden. We got a couple other details we need to work out. So we've got the whiskers here. I'll just do all of them I'll just do all of them at once. So I'll do line, line, switch off of the tool, line, line, switch off of the tool, and then depending on how you want to do it, I mean, we'll pretend I did the same for these two because I'm just kind of rushing through all these. But you can figure out how I did the other side. So we'll do this for the eyes. And we'll just kind of get an angle that works good for both sides. So this I would just sample the color for these, I would do what I did with the tail, and we will bump up the offset a little bit, we'll round the corners, and then we will object path, outline stroke, and then we'll sample a color, and that gets the whiskers done. Same thing I did for the eyes, we'll do for the ears. So point, and we'll drag it out. These are a unique shape where you can just do fine by putting a point, giving it a weight, and then getting rid of that other side. So we will just kind of finish these out, get the ears. I'm not going to do the other whiskers and the other eye. But I wanted to show you guys, because this will be important for the next one that comes up, doing that octopus. So we have, actually it looks like a circle. Did they just do a circle here? No, it looks like it's a little scrunched. Let's do that. Oh, come on. What did I do? Oh, I hit something. No, I gotta turn the light on in here. Okay. So I'm just trying to get this to match up pretty well with that area right there. That should be good. And then we've got the other area down here. I have a couple options for this. I could either draw this like I did the eyes, so just kind of come in here, draw that shape, draw that shape. This is probably the easier way to go, so I don't have to worry about anything else. And that'll get this little haunch line, I guess. And then we've got one more. I'll just also draw this one kind of manually. So we'll go there, there. I'm trying not to get it. It's gonna, okay, it is what it is. I'm trying to keep this to not overflow too far, because it's gonna make slightly more work for me later. You'll see in a minute. But we'll just keep this in here so that we can merge these cleanly afterwards. So if you're wondering why I'm doing that weird foggle and that little gutter thing, that's why. Okay. So we've got all those mapped out. Let's get the rest of our cat back in here. So let's go ahead and move everything down. And now, so we've got pretty much all the outlines for everything. I can be a straight menace and I'll just merge everything like that. And then we'll just have to figure out what goes where. So, did I already ungroup? I must have already ungrouped. So let's switch everything over. White fill, black border, get rid of the fill, and then let's go through here and regroup things together. So anything that's on this little border right here, I'm going to group all of these together. And let me just do kind of an incremental one right there. We've got these two sections. Oh, I don't have one for, okay. Group those together. We'll have, I never did the elliptical here at the bottom. So we'll do that, and then we'll rerun the cut. Okay, so everything here on the bottom, oops, ungroup. Group those together. What are you? Just a random line? I think this is a random line. I'll just try deleting part of it because we aren't going to need it. Okay. Let's merge these two if it'll let us. We can get rid of that little line. Sometimes when you get more complicated chunks in here, it does that. Can't get mad at it. We'll use the minus key to get rid of any anchor points we have on these chains. Okay, we'll clean that up in a second. We'll keep moving here. So we've got a couple points we need to fix there. We'll merge these. And then merge. Oh, let's get this into them. Oh, is that one just a random line? Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, we will. This will take a minute to fix right here, but let's get all these little sections. Yeah, this one's going to be a pain right in this area. I don't think it's going to. Okay. So we've got. Let's see. So there's that section right there, but then there's also this section. Okay. Let's start moving things off to another layer just to figure out what's what. Okay, so this is the orange tail part. We'll merge those together. This is the back half of the cat, the orange part. We merge those. And then I'm actually just gonna bring that over. And we'll just kind of merge these two manually. We'll use the minus tool to get rid of some of these points too. We don't need that many. You should have a nice smooth line here. Let's get rid of that. Pull this across just so that they definitely overlap now. And then merge them back together. Okay, so we get that nice cut. We've got the rest of the body here. We've got that white section. So let's actually, what do we have? We've got weird little ghost segment. So this can go up. This can go up. This and this can both go up. What are you? This is the rest of the face. All right. Minus tool, and we'll just cut these out. And then it looks like there's a little blemish right there too. Control Y, and we'll just zoom in here and figure out what's going on. Okay, so it looks like this one is good to go. We've just got some more. Yeah, this is one of those ones where it's a little bit trickier. I think only one person did this one, and I'm not surprised at that. It is a little bit more of a challenging one, but I think it's probably the funnest one that we had in the set too. Okay, so those are all just junk lines now. We can get rid of them. We'll bring this all back. Get rid of that layer again. So now we should have a pretty clean set of lines. It looks like there's one little blemish right there. We'll just get rid of that. And then we've got this right here. We'll see if we can just get rid of those with that as well. Sometimes when you have points that are really close together, you can get that little jagged thing. I know a couple people ran into that at various points. So getting rid of some of those extra little bits right there helps clean it up. Okay, let's finish this cat up and we'll move on to the next one. So this is the orange section. Oh, I should probably keep this. So orange section, we'll sample that. And then we'll hide your layer. Oh, I didn't get the tail. This looks like it's the border, so we'll sample that. Send it up. These are both the white sections. Sample those. Send them up. This is another brown section. We'll actually grab all these too, since we're here. Send those up. And then this is an orange section. What happened there? Okay. And then this is just a clear section. We'll make it white for the sake of this. And then, oh, we got one more right here. Okay, so it looks like there's a little bit I'd have to clean up. I'd have to figure out how to fix that little section right there. But you get the idea for how that would go together there. And then, yeah, the cat section, pretty easy. Octopus was one of the other favorites in the class. We had a couple people on this one. This one was a little bit deceptively tricky, and I didn't really know how I would put it together. But I think this is probably the way to go right here, is just use a circle for that main chunk. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mirror this one just like I did one of the earlier ones. So I'll bring these handles in. And it looks like it's pretty close there. Like I could almost work with it, except it's not quite perfect. So instead, I will just come back with these tools. We'll redraw the little legs right here. And again, it's just, especially with this pen tool, really just kind of needs practice. Oops, get rid of that fill. There's a couple ways you could handle this little section right here. I could have done the thing I did with the cat where I drew the center of it and offset. That might be a slightly better way to handle this little section right here. And I think I showed that to someone in the class. So it kind of depends how you want to do it. Looks like this needs to come out a little bit. And then we'll just keep coming around. I don't know if this is necessarily the better way to do this, but it's one of two ways to do it. So now that I've got that right there, let's just go ahead and merge these real quick. Fill them. We'll give that, fill it with a stroke still attached. We'll offset this. Oh, come on. Have a color. Okay. So we'll offset this stroke. It looks like we get something that looks like about that. And then let's just do this other tentacle here. I do like this one. This is a very fun character. All right, make this a little bit bigger here. And then we'll just switch this to the outside. This one, I'll have this actually be separate, but not really. So we've got this chunk right here. let's go ahead and mirror this over. So we'll move this, transform, reflect. I know a couple of you guys figured that tool out. Okay, so we've got the bulk of it right here. Let's go ahead and do our Pathfinder tool. Nothing. Oh, oops, that was my bad. Move it there. We need to outline all of our strokes. Missed that little step. Path, outline stroke. Now we'll do our cut, and we should be able to ungroup. And then these sections should merge as that. And then, what did this look like? I forgot. Okay, so the inside part comes across here, so this is actually blue as well. So we'll merge these back together. Oops. Looks like we've got a couple rogue chunks here. So we'll delete those. That's probably the faster way to do it on this one. Okay, back to this part. We'll get all these border chunks outlined and merge them, just see how we're doing. Okay, we've got a couple straggler lines here. We'll go ahead and zap these real quick too. I don't think it's not enough that I'm going to drag it like I did with the previous one. Actually, it might be. Let's just do that because we already have this and this, so it should be simple to move those up. And then we'll see what's left. Yeah, okay. Glad I did that. All right, let's move everything back down. Come on, there we go. Okay. So then the, oops, did I entirely miss this? We'll just copy that, paste in place, sample. Did I really I must have deleted those, okay. Just copy that, and then we paste in place, and we can get that fill back in there. There's a couple lines I'd probably smooth out still here. Let's see. We actually need, so let's actually do that so we can see what else is going on here. The little smile that we have right here, I'll just do a point, stretch that out, and another point. And then this will be one where we, there we go. We'll just do the offset with this, make sure you round the corners. And then path, outline stroke, there's that. We have we have to do these glasses, so I'm going to treat this as something that I'll mirror part of it, and then I'll build that the bridge, I guess is what that's called for the glasses. So we'll do that. Looks about right. Get this right here, there, and there. And then again, we'll outline this stroke. Oops. What bugged me? This bugged me. Okay, let's outline this. Or we'll do that, object, path, outline stroke. And then we'll copy this over here and reflect it. And then we just need to build the little bridge that's coming between here. So I'll click on that line, hit a point in the middle, and then click right about there. We'll come down to this section, repeat that, and close this one out. So now you've got these three shapes. We can merge those together, and they're done. We have the glasses. So for the inside, we actually technically have this right here. So we can, again, we can take this, I'll copy it. Actually, let's go in. We'll grab both while I'm here. So select those two, paste in place, and then we'll hit them with white. I keep missing that button. Set that out. And then the other thing that we have is the let's move, again, everything up here. And then we'll move these two back down here so we just work on this, hide the rest of it. And I want to get that kind of shine thing that they've got going here, so I'll just get another set of lines in here. And I'll just create a pattern out here. We'll do the transform tool again on this. So we've got those sections right there, transform tool, ungroup. And that leaves us with those sets of lines. That should leave us with a separate section here. So let's go ahead and sample our colors. We'll reuse that. And that, and then we'll just send both of these up again to that hidden layer so we can do our eyeballs. Nope, that is not a circle. Good enough for government work right there. Let's get that adjusted just a tiny bit in. And then, just to be lazy, I'll copy and paste that back in as that. Sample the inside. Put that right there. Sample that. We'll use Control and the left bracket to bump it back a step, and then we'll just copy the. Oh, did they? All right. I guess they just reflected it. Yeah, because they have. All right, fine. We'll just do this and that. That'll get it in the same spot. Okay, let's move this up here. And then we have our dots that we've got to figure out. So these are pretty simple. Just a couple little things like this. We'll rotate them so they're kind of in the right direction. Move copy, move copy. We'll make this one a little bit bigger. Come on. No, give me the handle. There we go. And we'll just, oh, no. Little brain fart there. Okay. So we'll just kind of move these and make them a little bit bigger as necessary, just to get them kind of in the right shape and space. What do we have here? This one. Not perfectly aligned, but close enough. We'll just copy a different one here. Okay, so we've got these. I think that the color on them is a little bit lighter. So I'll sample those, we'll send that up. And then the last thing that we have is this little kind of shadow effect going on around here. So I will just make this kind of pass through here. And I'm going to have this kind of just hidden again behind everything so that I hopefully don't have as much to clean up. And then we'll go from here, we'll bring it in. This will save me a little bit of work too on the way back, because we're going to try and hide it behind this. Oh, that's a tight corner right there. Didn't leave myself enough space nearly. All right. So we'll just bring this back and eventually we'll get this closed. And we will have, well, I'll have to double check it first because this is a bit of coverage. We'll just have a little leg hanging out there. Oh, and then it looks like we've got one more section here where they decided to highlight it, so good on them. That was a good move. And we'll do that. Okay, so let's go back up to this layer. Let's grab this, swap it with the fill, send this down, hide that for now, send this down. Okay, so we've got these three going now. We'll do that. Again, the Pathfinder tool. We'll get rid of that, get rid of the stump. And then this chunk will be sampled from here. This chunk I'll sample from there. Actually, what did I just do? Did I not grab that? Okay. Let's grab all of these actually. So we get all these. Sample that. So then let's send these back up. We'll have to do a little bit of messing around with it later, just to get some of the other blends going. But this is that. We'll send that up. And then, oh, I just hit, okay. I thought I may have overwritten a color. Okay. So just to double check, it looks like everything that we have left here is all of this same layer. So we'll just merge those back into each other. And then we've got one little section right here. Let me see if I can get rid of that. Okay. Nope, of course not. We're going to be difficult. So move that down there. And we'll just grab these anchor points and move those back in. Okay. How are we doing on this side? Looks like we've got, I think that's covered by the glasses. I'm not too worried about that one. And then we've got this weird little bump right here. Just zap both of those points. Move that in. Okay. The rest of that looks fine. Okay, so now we have to merge this whole mess back together. Let's go ahead and move everything to the same layer. We will send, let's see. We'll send, how do we want to do this? That looks right, except that we're missing these. So we'll select those and then deselect the surrounding. Bump those up to the front. We will get everything on the glasses. And then again, we'll have to deselect all the other stuff that's here. Let's see how that looks when I do that. Okay, and then our mouth. All right, let's get rid of our dump layer there, and before and after. So, not too bad. Will that take me an hour 10? So, not bad. I thought I'd be quicker, but I probably spent too long on some of them. But that gets you pretty much to where those are. So I hope you guys do take not necessarily the entire video, but probably stop at a couple techniques and hopefully pick some stuff up. Just again, I'm using a certain set of tools just out of habit, so some of those may or may not work for you, especially when we move on to the first project. But I think having a grasp of different tools and how they might work in a project like this is important. So I'll go ahead and sign off here, and I'll see you guys in class.